Any wild guess? Yes?
Do it.
No. Okay, let me give you some crazy options. Sonia Gandhi,
No.
Mayawati,
No.
Mamata Banerjee,
No.
Jayalalitha. No, I was just kidding. So this lady here has made a real significant contribution to the field what she has worked in. So she's Hedy Lamarr. She has enacted in many films, many movies. So and she was regarded as the most beautiful lady by Mayer Studios. But you might be wondering why I'm talking about an actress here in a session which is related to in a Drupal camp. So she has also done a significant contribution to something which we use every hour, every minute and every second in our lives. Any hard guesses? What is it? Okay, fine. I'll open it up. So she has co-invented Wi-Fi and Bluetooth with George Adriel.
Everybody needs some claps.
Yes.
This thing got stuck. Contributed apart from Hedy Lamarr. This is only a minimalistic example I could get, but definitely there are many other women contributors. So could you name any if you are aware of it?
Lapchick, yes, it.
Yes?
Lapchick.
Well, any
Yes,
names?
Like contribution in technology or anywhere?
Anywhere? Yes?
I know what voice.
Ada Lovelace, yeah, that's great. And? Any other examples?
Come on. Mother Teresa, she didn't contribute, right?
She did contribute, but
Madam Curie.
yeah, that kind of contribution can also be regarded as a contribution in force. Is it connected? So yes, technology is everywhere, and let's talk about the most unfortunate thing here. But where are girls? Yes? So we actually stereotype them and make them feel that the iron table there is their mouse pad, and the iron box is like, and they have to use their iron box as their mouse with the right click and left click, with the right click and left click options available there. So we need not stereotype girls in this way. So they can really contribute without really contributing any code as such. So if anybody has happened to see the BBC documentary on Indian Daughter, has anybody happened to see BBC documentary, which was viral on all the social networking sites? Yes. So that in that documentary, if you could have observed the victim and the accused was really stereotyping the girls in a way that they are only limited to the household and the kitchen work. So that is not really, I mean, come on, we are in 2015 and we are so way long to a modern world. So we should really stop such stereotypes. So in order to prove about this stereotypes, let us play a number game. So these are the statistics which I could collect last night. And look at when man got to use the computer first. It was at the age of 12. And when was a girl who used a computer at the age of? It was around 2.5 years later. And because a boy got to use the computer first, he got the position of the computer first. So that's at the age of 15. And it's an obvious reason that because a man got a position of computer first, he got the first chance to contribute to the floss. So what we can see is in the year of 1996. And 3 years later, we got the first contribution to FOSS from a woman contributor. Internet.
It's correct.
And they also were collected last night. And see, 72% of the whole chart consists of men, and only 28%. And in the real world, 50% of us are born as women. All of us. 50%. Just look at the number of women sitting in this hall itself. 50% of us are born as women, and half of that half are really contributing to the proprietary software. And look at this fancy blockages what we have in a proprietary world. So the picture itself depicts that we don't really have that freedom to think in those blockages. And coming to open source, we all pretty well know what are the freedoms involved in open source and what is the scope of contribution a woman or any man can give towards open source and free software. So any guesses what would be the percentage of women contributing to open source? So it was 28% back there in proprietary world. So how about in free software world? Any wild guesses? So you might be thinking it will definitely be more than 28% because the amount of freedom what we have here in FLOSS is much more. But the fact is very awestruck. We will be very awestruck at the fact. It's only 1.5%. So is this disparity really important to address? Yes?
Yes.
So why is this disparity important to address? We need to really address the world domination. The stereotypes what we talked about right in the first slide. And what will I talk in this session is why so less women developers in FLOSS? And what do women don't like in a community? Do we or women really need to code to contribute to FLOSS? Projects which embrace and welcome women. So coming to the women and involvement of women. So do you think women are not interested in FLOSS? Do you think that is the case? Why there are really less developers in FLOSS?
No.
Definitely not, exactly. And do you think they are being excluded? Do you think they are being excluded? Yes? You might also think that they are not being excluded, but very actively and unconsciously they are being excluded. Let us see how. So this is about the active and unconscious exclusion, what we were talking about, joking about women. Yeah, we might have seen many posts in Facebook or Twitter about joking about women. So the type of seat belts they need to wear, which need to be designed for women, and the way they park their vehicles, the way they drive. Come on, stop stereotyping. Even men do mistakes. People learn from their mistakes. It's not about just monotyping them, but then, yeah. And if it's a joke, it's okay. We accept jokes, but it should not hurt very badly or making it as a bad inertia for women. And next is using women as examples of non-technical users. So in a company, let me give you an example of a very huge company which I don't want to name, say XYZ. They regard women as non-technical users, definitely. They only use them for documentation purpose or only for the testing purpose or only for organizing events. Come on, I'm an organizer here in Drupal, Hyderabad. Even Shiva, Medam, Shpat, Anwar, they are men. They can also organize. Don't stereotype organizing to only women or coding to only men.
They made mistakes connecting the Wi-Fi to.
Yes, me.
Why don't you use this?
There's a man behind that problem.
What is he doing?
Okay, so continuously cracking jokes about women and using women as non-technical users. So in the process of this, we actually end up creating an inertia, what I said. And we as a society, we assume that these inertia are not making any difference in their choices. But let's talk about it. We are definitely making a difference in their choice. Because of these inertias, we are making them take different choices. We are making them stop contributing to any community. So that is the one thing we have to put in mind. So viewing coding as superior to other skills. So as Dave has already mentioned, his first contribution was a single character typo. So we all start as small contributors, and then we end up as something big. So don't view coding as something superior. You can also contribute by reporting a bug. Say we have, if when we use Windows, we get some pop-up saying error report. So you want to send an error report or don't want to send an error report. Usually we tend to click on don't send. Why? Because we are well aware that even if we click on the send button, where it actually goes, is it being addressed really? We don't get a follow-up, and yeah, it doesn't really matter even if we click a send button or a don't send button. But in open source, in FLOSS projects, when we encounter a bug, even reporting that kind of bug, even identifying that kind of bug is a contribution. Identifying the bug, and then you can directly get in touch with the contributors, with the maintainers of the code. You have their email IDs ready in the site. You can mail them about the bug, and they will reach out to you, and the problem gets solved. So that is the level of confidence we get in FLOSS. So this is about what we talked just now, stereotype and typical task. We always think that men should always write the code and women should always document. So that is not the case always. And about the ways in which you can contribute to the community without actually coding will also be dealt by Parth in the next session. So this is the kind of classification. We always classify men on technical tasks and women on social tasks. So this is another survey which was done. So are women bullied in FLOSS world? So when this question was posed to both men and women, so the victims who are women, they agreed, more than 70% of women agreed to it that yes, they are bullied in FLOSS world. And the non-victims, around 20%, more than 20% of the non-victims agreed that the women are not bullied in FLOSS world. So when the victim itself is agreeing that they are bullied, how can we trust the non-victims? So yes. And now, so do women get more attention for their gender or their skills? This is the most important point. Though we agree, but most of us here, including most of us, we actually tend to be hypocrites, like thinking on something and just practicing something else. So let's get away with that kind of ideology. Let's identify women for their skills really. So how many of you here have watched this movie called The Imitation Game, which has recently hit the theaters, which was a story of, it was a real story of Alan Turing cracking the Enigma during World War II.
I have heard, I have read a blog and all. I haven't seen that.
Okay, fine. So in that movie also, there is a women contributor who contributed in cracking the Enigma machine, whose name was Jerry. So when the process is this way, the process of hiring the team of people who can crack Enigma was done in such a way that Alan Turing sends a crossword puzzle in newspaper, and whoever cracks that crossword puzzle are qualified for the next round. So when that lady enters the classroom a bit late, people start doubting her whether she was the really one who cracked the crossword. So it carried back there in those years. But today, in 2015, we are definitely not like that. We encourage women, we should encourage women. We should let them contribute. Yeah, so as the picture says, a woman gets more attention to her makeup stuff rather than her intelligence or skill set. So here, we're going to talk about what exactly is driving women away. The dates. If a girl really comes with a thought of contributing something to the community, people ask her for a date or a marriage proposal. that is not really entertained, because her intention of contribution is really different, and when you ask her for these things, she really gets demotivated and doubting her intelligence and expertise. We already saw this by taking example of the movie Imitation Game and using he in the documentation. Use them equally, he or she or we. So this actually lowers her confidence and later involvement in computing. So this we could see from the stats which was presented in the earlier slide. The age at which a man used a computer first, the age at which a woman used a computer first, and private messages in IRC, avoiding public channels. This also takes them off. So we all are FLOSS contributors. So as a FLOSS contributor, what should we do to engage women? So any ideas what should be done to engage women?
First of all, everyone needs to trust that she can do and
Yes.
involve her in some or other project.
Yes. Yes,
The
right.
trust can be the first thing.
The trust, yeah, that's the true bonding factor,
Yeah.
the trust.
See no bias during recruitment.
Yes. Yeah, I know a couple of companies, or there are many companies who only recruit women employees to show numbers on their graphs. Who go to women technology institutes to only show numbers in their graphs. I'm aware of such companies. Don't do that for the sake of doing. Yes. Anything else? As a FLOSS contributor, how can you engage women? Any more ideas? Okay, let's move forward. So we have to get rid of Einstein perception. So what is Einstein perception? Thinking that you really need to be a geek to contribute to the community. You can also do it without coding. So code is the only contribution. This is another assumption which we really have in our minds. Code is not the only contribution. Ask women to be contributors. See, we are in a Drupal camp here. There are a lot of budding women contributors. So make them feel good in this camp. Approach them, ask them if they can contribute, and make them aware of the mailing list, make them aware of the documentation. If you are a mentor, if you are a beginner, approach the contributors. And if you are a mentor, approach a meetup and organize a meetup and make them aware of the links about the mailing list, about the projects through which they can contribute to the community. And make sure you have how to contribute steps. Say if somebody approaches you and asks, so I want to contribute to this Drupal, so how do I start with? Make sure you have a couple of steps ready, easy steps ready to say them. And yeah, mentorship programs, as yesterday Chakrapani was mentioning about. So now let's talk about how and where do we get involved. So the answer is, we already know how the proprietary scope is and how the FLOSS scope is. So definitely FLOSS gives us more scope to get involved in FLOSS projects. So this is an undeniable fact that FLOSS is fun. It's all about fun. It's all about inspiring and educational. Just a small patchwork you do and see the level of recognition you get in a community and see the level of respect you get in a community. And FLOSS is definitely fundamentally rewarding. And the bottom line is, it's an excellent career move. Rather than sitting in that cubicle and just coding and submitting the patches, you can actually contribute in a community and become a respectful contributor. So let me talk about an interesting program called Outreachy. This was organized by GNOME, and this happens every year for a period of 3 months. So Outreachy is a free and open source software outreach program to provide women internships. So it pays around $5,000 and provides internship for women. So you can equally contribute and work as an intern there. And now, projects with notable women chapters. So these projects, they have equal say. I mean, the Debian has its own chapter for women, which has projects especially for women and exclusively for women. It's only to improve or increase the number of women who participate in the community, who contribute to the community. Ubuntu, Drupal. And Drupal is said to be the safest community for women. I mean, not the safest, but the highest percentage of women are from Drupal. I mean, it has 15% of women Drupal contributors.
Which is not the best number, but it is,
It is not
amongst
exactly.
others.
Comparative.
It is better when compared to others. And Railgirls is one such projects, and Gnome Girls is another one such projects, through which we can start contributing to the community. So once you are done with picking your project here, you can start with going through the documentations of the projects, subscribing to the mailing list, and following the forums, asking questions wherever necessary, and subscribing to the IRC channels, and being a part of Meetup and meeting people who have been contributing since long time. And this is a link where you can seek out to other women in FLOSS. It's linuxsticks.org. And let's see some of the mythbusters. So I'm being very repetitive about this line because it should be understood by us that coding is not the only contribution. Bug reporting is one of the contributions. Reviewing, documentation, as they've already mentioned, a guy who only tested a patch has contributed to the community in that sense. So documentation, advocacy. As now I'm wearing an advocacy hat and I'm talking about a non-Drupal topic, but yeah, by doing this advocacy talk, if you can get some contributors into the community, that's great. You're doing a great job. Events, education and training. So now let's be responsible and sensible towards women contributors, and we have to really make them confident. We have to leverage them about how they can get started with it and how they can find a contributor already, a buddy already who has contributed, and just collaborate and work together. Yeah, and so let's put efforts so that the 1.5% in FLOSS grows to 50%. I'm sure we will have dedicated efforts from now to achieve the increase from 1.5 to 50%. And finally, about me, you can connect to me in Twitter as Divya Charwaka. I'm a contributor to FLOSS, internet enthusiast. So I jump and Inkscape designs a bit. Yeah, and everything is on the slide.
It's not completely visible. Can you scroll down a little? It's not completely visible. Is
It's
it?
not visible.
Oh.
You can come.
Not because of the obstruction. The slide is not. Scroll down.
Yeah, that's the last line. of
Last
it.
slide, okay.
So proud to be women. And one last point is, today is International Women's Day, and I wish you all a happy International Women's Day. But there is an attitude which is being carried that we only have to respect women on this particular day. But that's not what we should think. We should respect them. We should carry the same attitude on each day of the 365 days. Only then we can achieve the idea of an egalitarian society and a more successful community, a more egalitarian community. Thank you.